Hey there guys, Steven here. I'm gonna do a series of video today, something I've been meaning to do for a long time now. Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a bunch of random DS games that I have in my collection that I consider classics, and I'm just gonna talk about them. Basically it's to show off some of the Nintendo DS hidden gems. And what I mean by that is just games that not necessarily didn't sell well, but some games that you don't usually hear much about, that people don't talk much about. I'm gonna separate this into two little videos, and my first video, this one will mainly will only compose of Nintendo games, and with the next one I'll just gonna look at a bunch of other more obscure games. So I'm gonna start right away with a few puzzlers, and I'm not really a big puzzle fan, but these ones were actually perfect for me, and they actually demonstrated the Nintendo DS touchscreen's abilities perfectly. So they are Meteos, Magnetica, and Polarium. And all these games I actually played for a lot, and I'm not a big puzzle fan, so I'm really surprised by that. Especially Polarium, which is kind of plays, I don't know if you remember the Zelda puzzles when you have to walk over the tiles, but you can't walk over the same tile twice. This is basically the same principle, and I found that pretty addictive. You can also create your own puzzles. Magnetica is pretty simple. You have a bunch of balls, different colors. You have to match them up in the same colors to eliminate them before they fill up the entire screen. And Meteos is pretty original, actually. It's a unique concept, and if you never played it, I think there's actually a sequel to this game on either the DS or some other system, but anyway, it's a pretty cool game. Next up, I have the Mario and Luigi series. I know this is pretty pushing it to consider them hidden gems, since a lot of people played this, but especially this one, Partners in Time. I think it came out, let me check, I actually have the original receipts for these in here. Yeah, it came out on the 12th May of 2002, and at that time the DS was actually pretty struggling a lot. It had next to no games, and this for me really pushed it over the edge. It was not really long, it took me around 18 hours to complete, but it was simply an awesome game and my favorite yet in the Mario and Luigi RPG series. Next one is another game that helped the DS greatly when it had absolutely no games, that Yoshi Touch Go. And think of this game like a classic arcade game like Donkey Kong or Pac-Man, where there's really no goal, but all you have to do is try and beat your own scores, and it gets addicting pretty quickly. And this is a title you never hear about these days, but it's such a classic game, and in my opinion a must-own if you have a Nintendo DS. And finally, the last Nintendo game I'm going to include here is Super Princess Peach. You never hear about this game. Most people don't even remember that it exists, and it's just an absolute stunner of a game. It's on the easy side, like most Nintendo platformers are these days, but it's simply incredible. There was some gimmickly touchscreen control added there that basically made the game almost impossible to die in, because you could simply tap the screen and Princess Peach would fly or something. But the levels were incredible. The game was pretty lengthy. There was eight worlds, and I think you could unlock like another 8, maybe not 8 worlds, but I knew there was a lot of levels you could unlock in this. And I actually played this game to completion, did everything it had to, and it came just a few months before New Super Mario Bros. DS. No, it doesn't have the DS subtitle, but it came just a few months before it, and that was like when there was a huge drop of Mario titles, 2D Mario titles. Back in the day, I think it took like 10 or 12 years to get a new one, so this really helped, and this was an awesome game, really. If you have never played it, try it, you'll be surprised. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and in the next video I'm going to look at some hidden gems from third parties. Thank you.